I never thought a simple weekend could change the way I looked at my father forever. But when Mom left for her short trip, something happened in that house that I can't erase from my memory. It wasn't dramatic at first, no shouting, no fights, no storms. Just silence. A silence that carried weight. And by the time the weekend ended, I realized the truth wasn't something I was ready for, but it was something I could never forget. The house felt emptier the moment Mom left, suitcase rolling out the front door with her cheerful, "I'll be back Sunday evening, don't get into trouble." She was always the light in our home, always talking, always filling the air with energy. Without her, it was different. Almost too quiet. Dad, Mark, seemed different too. He was usually the steady one, calm, practical, the type who never made a fuss. But lately, he'd been off. Distracted. More serious than usual. I chalked it up to work stress. Still, there was something about the way he moved through the house, like he was carrying a weight he couldn't put down. I spent most of Saturday morning in my room, scrolling on my phone, enjoying the rare calm of having space to myself. But I couldn't shake the feeling that something was going on downstairs. I could hear him moving around, faint sounds of cupboards opening and closing, the scrape of a chair. Curiosity got the better of me around noon, so I padded down the stairs and into the kitchen. He was standing at the counter, shoulders hunched slightly, staring down at his phone as if it might give him answers to questions he hadn't asked out loud. He didn't even notice me walk in at first. "Hey, Dad. What's for lunch?" I asked, half joking. He blinked, startled, before forcing a half smile. "Guess I lost track of time. What do you feel like?" I shrugged. "We could order something." He nodded a little too quickly, almost like he was relieved. "Yeah, sure. That works." While we waited for the food to arrive, I noticed he kept glancing at his phone, his thumb hovering like he was waiting for a message. I didn't ask. Maybe it was work. Maybe it wasn't. But his silence felt heavier than usual. When the delivery came, we sat at the dining table, a rare thing for us. Usually, we scattered around the house, eating wherever we landed. For a while, we talked about ordinary things. My classes. Weekend plans. Nothing special. Then, in the middle of his meal, he set down his fork, exhaled, and looked at me in a way that made me pause. "I've been meaning to ask you something," he said. I raised an eyebrow. "Okay, shoot." He leaned back slightly, his eyes searching mine. "Do you ever feel like life's moving too fast? Like one day you're a kid running around the yard, and the next, everything's changed?" I wasn't expecting something so heavy. I thought for a moment, then nodded. "Yeah, sometimes. I guess it feels that way." His mouth curved into a small, almost sad smile. "It feels like just yesterday you were running around in that ridiculous dinosaur costume. Remember? You refused to take it off even at the grocery store." I laughed, the memory hitting me instantly. I was obsessed. I practically lived in that thing. He chuckled softly, shaking his head. But then the laughter faded into a quiet stillness, the kind that wasn't awkward but carried something unspoken. Something I couldn't name. The rest of the afternoon passed in near silence. He disappeared into his office. I retreated to my room. But his words lingered in my head. Was he just being nostalgic? Or was there something else behind it? That night, just as I was getting ready for bed, I heard a gentle knock at my door. "Come in," I called. Dad stepped inside, holding something in his hands. His eyes were softer now, not weighed down but almost vulnerable. "I found this earlier," he said, handing it over. It was an old photo album. The kind Mom used to pull out at family gatherings before we all got too busy to care. I hadn't seen it in years. I sat on the bed and began flipping through it. Birthday parties, beach vacations, Christmas mornings. 1,000 moments captured, frozen, yet still alive somehow. Dad sat beside me, close enough that I could feel the warmth of his presence. His gaze lingered on the pages, his hand brushing mine briefly as he turned one of them. My chest tightened in a way I couldn't explain. We laughed at my awkward childhood outfits, his questionable hairstyles, the goofy expressions we both made. But then there were the quieter pictures, ones that carried a weight I hadn't noticed before. Pictures of us when life felt easier. When things hadn't gotten so complicated. I miss those days, Dad murmured eventually, his voice almost breaking. Me too, I admitted. And I meant it. I looked at him then, really looked. Not just at the man who'd always been there, steady and reliable, but at someone who was older now. Someone who maybe felt lonelier than he'd ever let on. The thought hit me harder than I wanted to admit. His hand reached out, resting gently on my shoulder. We should make more memories like that, he said softly. Not let it all just fade. I swallowed, my throat tightening. Yeah. We should. For a moment, neither of us moved. The silence wrapped around us, not empty but full, charged somehow. Then he stood, pausing at the door. Good night, kiddo. Good night, Dad. It wasn't some dramatic event. No shouting, no sudden confessions. But something shifted that night. Something real. When Mom came home Sunday evening, smiling and exhausted from her trip, she had no idea what had passed between us. She didn't notice the new stillness, the way we shared glances as if holding on to something fragile. Looking back, I realize it wasn't the takeout, or the photo album, or even the words exchanged that changed things. It was the quiet in-between moments. The kind that sneak up on you when you least expect it. That weekend reminded me of a truth I didn't want to face, that time slips away faster than we can hold it, and sometimes the people closest to us are strangers until silence forces us to really see them. And now, every time I think about those 2 days, about the heaviness in his eyes and the warmth in his touch, I can't help but wonder, was that the beginning of something new between us? Or just a reminder of everything we almost lost?